What is it about the properties of a barely visible waterweed called spirulina that have got even President Obama's family so interested? In 1974, at the United Nations World Food Conference, it was announced that spirulina is the most ideal food for mankind. The World Health Organization has declared that spirulina is mankind's best health product in the 21st century. UNESCO has concluded that spirulina is the most ideal and perfect food of tomorrow. The US Department of Agriculture has published Spirulina Food for the Future, and it has been proposed by both NASA and the European Space Agency as one of the primary foods to be cultivated during long-term space missions. In 2005, an open letter was published to all governments from the United Nations, urging the development of the technology needed to produce this unique water alga. But what exactly is the blue-green alga called spirulina? It is a simple, one-celled form of alga, reaching sizes of 0.3 to 1 millimeter in length. These cells are able to capture the energy of the sun and utilize the nutrients in their watery environment. Then, through a photosynthetic reaction, the cells produce protein, sugars, fatty acids, and vitamins, as well as all the important minerals our bodies need. Using enzyme pigments like phytocyanin, blue, and chlorophyll, green, as catalysts, spirulina is the major oxygen producer on the planet. How is it that such a small cellular form should contain all the strength of life's vital forces? How is it cultivated and consumed? Why do astronauts use spirulina? And what do scientists report? Is spirulina a likely solution for recovery from malnutrition? And can spirulina really save the planet from the greenhouse effect? Stay tuned to discover Mother Nature's molecular miracle. Since its birth, spirulina has been one of the most important life forms on this planet. But it started playing this vital role a very long time ago. This is our planet 4.5 billion years ago. Earth's nitrogen atmosphere without any oxygen was rich in carbon dioxide and methane. Scientists believe that the oceans took shape 900 million years later. The first life forms appeared around 3.6 billion years ago. In his book, The Ages of Gaia, James Lovelock gives an explanation for this long period. Since the young sun was 25% cooler at the beginning of life, the greenhouse effect kept a cooler planet warmer. The oceans were filled with iron, sulfur, and other compounds in solution because there was no free oxygen. The first living bacteria, called prokaryotes, appeared in this inhospitable environment. These bacteria consumed chemical nutrients as the only available food. Some of them used the energy of the sun to make their own food. These photosynthesizing prokaryotes were called cyanobacteria, or blue-green algae. They used light energy to split the abundant carbon dioxide and water molecules into carbon food compounds, releasing free oxygen. A new period began about 2.3 billion years ago. By then, oxygen in the atmosphere may have reached a level of 1%. Methane disappeared from the atmosphere, cooling the planet. Cells with nuclei appeared, formed from communities of individual bacteria living within an outer membrane. These cells were called eukaryotes. The nucleus contained organelles, such as chloroplasts, the green bodies which photosynthesize. This more powerful and complicated life form was supported by the higher oxygen concentration. The blue-green prokaryote bacteria and the green cell eukaryotes are called microalgae. These microalgae colonized the oceans and formed a thin film on the land masses. They kept transforming the atmosphere by photosynthesizing for 1.7 billion years. Planet Earth entered its present phase about 600 million years ago. The level of oxygen increased and finally remained steady at 21%. Our planet finally became blue. Today, these microalgae still cover land and water surfaces. The microalgae in the ocean, called phytoplankton, is the base of the food chain, supporting all higher life and producing 95% of the Earth's oxygen. It is part of the living mechanism that regulates the planet's biosphere. Microalgae, despite its size, played a crucial role in transforming the planet into the beauty and richness that makes up life today. And it can only be seen under a microscope. As James Lovelock describes in The Ages of Gaia, the microalgae carried their genetic information in DNA strands in the cell membrane, and were able to exchange information by exchanging plasmids with another cell. In this way, this organism became essentially immortal. All life on Earth was then linked by a slow but precise communication network. There may be more than 25,000 species of microalgae, living in all kinds of places. Most microalgae live off sunlight through photosynthesis, but some live off organic matter like bacteria. They range in size from a single cell to giant kelp over 150 feet long, like seaweed. These microalgae also play an important economic role. About 70 species are used for food, food additives, animal feed, fertilizers, or biochemicals. There are blue-green microalgae like spirulina, green algae like chlorella, red algae like Dunaliella, and also brown, purple, pink, yellow, and black microalgae. They are everywhere, in water, in soil, on rocks, on plants. Blue-green algae are the most primitive ones and contain no nucleus or chloroplasts. They do not sexually reproduce, they simply divide. What is the blue-green alga called spirulina? It is the first photosynthetic life form designed by nature 3.6 billion years ago. It still remains the evolutionary bridge between bacteria and green plants.
Spirulina is a microalga. It belongs to the bacteria and actually to the cyanobacteria. So it is a photosynthetic organism. And this organism has a long history as a food.
The two forms of spirulina bear the scientific names Arthrospira platensis and Arthrospira maxima. They are free-floating filamentous cyanobacteria characterized by a cylindrical, multicellular, elongated hair-like structure called trichomes. Spirulina's shape is in the form of an open left-hand spiral or helix. Biologists tell us that all the secrets of the universe are hidden within this form. The spiral is the symbol of infinity. Even the DNA molecules form a double spiral. The name spirulina derives from the Greek word spira, denoting the physical configuration of the organism when it forms swirling microscopic strands. The size of these blue-green filamentous cells varies from 0.3 to 1 millimeter. When the size is big enough, the cells simply divide themselves. Spirulina thrives on warm, alkaline, freshwater bodies. It needs water temperatures between 25 and 40 degrees Celsius with an optimum of 35 degrees Celsius. At lower temperatures under 20 degrees Celsius, spirulina dies. The sodium carbonated water must have a high pH between 9 and 11. Spirulina absorbs sunshine, and then a reaction takes place in its cells. This reaction is called photosynthesis. After this reaction has started, spirulina produces the nutrients in the cell and converts carbon dioxide into oxygen. Strong sunshine and agitated water help this particular type of alga produce more nutrients. Under favorable climatic conditions, spirulina can double its volume and weight every 24 hours. Commercial spirulina is normally produced in large outdoor ponds under controlled conditions. Some companies also produce spirulina directly from lakes. The best quality is produced in closed plants that use geothermal water. As a result, nutrients from water are more easily absorbed. If the water contains heavy metals or polluted agents from the atmosphere, these will be highly concentrated in the spirulina cell, in which case it is no longer suitable for human consumption. Its blue-green color is due to a coloring substance, the protein phycocyanin, a very powerful antioxidant, as well as chlorophyll, the green coloring substance of plants.
I can say that three are the most important bioactive components of spirulina difficult to find in other microorganisms or other foods. First of all is one major protein of spirulina called the phycocyanin, from the Greek words phyco, which is alga, and the cyanum, which is the blue. So it is a blue protein with very high antioxidant activity and also a very high anti-inflammatory activity.
So why is spirulina known as superfood? It has 3.6 billion years of evolutionary wisdom encoded in its DNA. This immortal plant contains the 5 major nutrient substances which life needs in order to evolve. In fact, spirulina is rich in proteins, sugars, fatty acids and vitamins, as well as minerals. Protein is a vital element that the majority of living organisms need for their healthy development.
Spirulina has a very high nutritional value, and this because it has enormous amounts of protein. We can say that spirulina is the richest food in our planet as far as protein is concerned. It has a content of about 60 to 70% of the dry mass of the microalgae, which is richer than common foods with high protein amounts like meat, milk, eggs, and soya.
Spirulina has the highest amount and most excellent quality of protein compared to any other natural food. Specifically, there is far more protein than animal meat, 70%, fish, 22%, soybeans, 35%, dried milk, 35%, peanuts, 25%, eggs, 12%, grain, 12%, or whole milk, 3%. The quality of spirulina's protein fulfills the ideal standards of the Food and Agriculture Organization of the United Nations. It is known as a complete protein, since it contains all the essential amino acids. The protein in spirulina is digestible up to 95%, one of the highest available digestion rates.
The various nutrients of spirulina are very easily digested. Why is so easily digested? Because spirulina has the very interesting peculiarity not to have hard cellulosic walls, which make difficult to digest the human body, the various foods.
Besides which, it contains about 13.6% sugars. Spirulina's polyunsaturated fatty acids are 4 to 7%, 3 times more than those of evening primrose oil. The important omega-6 family acids like gamma-linolenic acid, known as GLA, and the essential linoleic acids can be found in spirulina's cells. Spirulina contains a broad range of valuable vitamins like vitamin E, the B complex, B1, B2, B3, B5, B6, B9, B12, and vitamins D, H, and K. Its B12 content is between 2 and 6 times higher than that of raw beef liver. It is a great source of beta-carotene, containing 25 times more than is found in raw carrots, and this is transformed by our bodies into provitamin A. Furthermore, spirulina contains a large number of minerals and other trace elements: iron, potassium, sodium, magnesium, manganese, phosphorus, zinc, chrome, and selenium. It is rich in iron, with 58 times more iron than raw spinach and 28 times more than raw beef liver. Apart from vitamins and minerals, spirulina is rich in enzymes and pigments of phytonutrients that demonstrate a positive effect on health. The most visible pigment in spirulina is chlorophyll, a green molecule common to plants. The concentration of chlorophyll is 5 to 30 times higher than the seed of alfalfa, wheatgrass, and barley grass. The pigment that gives spirulina its blue cast is phycocyanin. This may be the origin of life common to both plants and animals.
The blue protein, phycocyanin, and its blue component micromolecule called phycobilin can play important role in a recent methodology for attacking cancer. This methodology is called photodynamic therapy.
Spirulina contains DNA-RNA nutritional supplement. Specifically, it provides extra dietary nucleic acid bases to help maintain the health, development, and function of the body. This superfood has the most remarkable concentration of functional nutrients ever known in any food, plant, grain, or herb. Spirulina is presented commercially in powder, capsules, tablets, flakes, and even as broth. For undernourished people in the developing world, spirulina brings quick recovery from malnutrition. In Western overfed food cultures loaded with unhealthy and nutritionally depleted food, spirulina can rejuvenate the human organism. On top of this, spirulina delivers more nutrition per acre than any other food on the planet. In addition to its high nutritional value, spirulina is a discovery that could aid the planet in healing the wounds caused by irrational development.